Hello, welcome back to Ask Allison. Here is today's question. I'm spending so much time cobbling together resources to try and figure out if private practice is right for me. What's the best way for me to get started? First, y'all have heard me mention TherapyNotes plenty of times. It's an all-inclusive, simple, affordable practice management system that has everything you need from your calendar, your notes, your video conferencing. It has the lowest HIPAA compliant credit card processing rate of 2.6% with no per transaction fee. TherapyNotes is the highest rated EHR on Trustpilot with over 1,000 verified positive responses. So I love that their notes format follows the golden thread with information automatically flowing from your intake to your recurring notes. So you don't have to write the same exact thing over and over. You should check them out whether you are unhappy with your current EHR or you're new to needing to get your own. You can go to therapynotes.com and use the code ABUNDANT at checkout for 2 months free. All right. So y'all know that I am a private practice proselytizer, and I believe private practice is a great fit for the vast majority of the people who, for whom it's appealing. But let's talk about what might make private practice a bad fit. If you have no job or a job that you have to get out of immediately and no savings and no way to pay your bills, now is not the best time for private practice. Starting a practice takes money, not a ton compared to other businesses, thankfully, but it's entirely too much pressure to have to build a practice and pay your bills all in the same month. That's just not gonna happen. So if you don't have a way to pay for your life for the next couple months or few months, I would say not that private practice isn't going to work for you, but now is not the time. Another maybe don't would be if you describe yourself as lazy or requiring a good bit of external motivation. There has to be, especially at the beginning, a lot of internal motivation to keep this train on the tracks. Yeah. You don't have to be the most internally motivated people? Are you more than one person? You don't have to be the most internally motivated person in the world to have a successful private practice, but you do have to have some get up and go. Now, the timing may be iffy if you're completely overwhelmed with life stuff. So if you are mid-divorce with a kid with special needs and ill parents that you care for, I'm not saying that private practice isn't the best choice for you right now. It absolutely may be. No other mental health job is going to have the flexibility and the amount of money all at once that private practice has. But starting a private practice is emotionally difficult. There is a period of time in which almost all of us feel like it's not going to work out because our marketing seeds have been planted, but they haven't started to bloom yet. It also takes time, energy, and money. So all that to say, if it might mean being really, really honest with yourself about how much more you can handle without cracking. If you're like me, you may overestimate that. So be careful. For some people in this situation, it might be a really nice thing to focus on that you feel like you have some level of control over, but know that you are knowingly adding to whatever you have going on right now an experience of feeling like a failure. Oh, that sounds awful, but most of us go through that at some point in building our practice. Okay. I also talk to people who have executive functioning issues, who worry that they won't be able to keep up with private practice. And if that's you, I want you to know that with structure and support, this can be way easier than you think. It's especially important for you guys to have an all-in-one system so that you have fewer plates to spin, fewer things to keep track of. I mentioned TherapyNotes. I really wholeheartedly believe that it would make the running of your practice so much smoother if you got TherapyNotes from the get-go, if you struggle with any executive functioning issues. You'll have time to learn it. It's pretty intuitive, but you'll have time to play with it before you have clients. You'll be able to start a system the right way. And then you don't have to deal with oh, I'm busy and now I've got to change systems. That would not be great for you. Aside from having an all-in-one system that has scheduling, payment, charting, all of that easier, you're also going to need office policies and schedule planning. Don't let that scare you. You're the one who gets to choose what that looks like, and it is not set in stone. We help folks with this in both the Abundance Party and in the Inner Circle, which I'll link to. Lastly, as a future business owner, I'm going to suggest getting into business owner mindset. You aren't learning to make candles in your spare time on YouTube here. You are learning how to build a business that is responsible not only for your financial and vocational well-being, you're also responsible for your potential clients and your community's experience of you as a business owner. So you can cobble together, absolutely, you can, tons of free content for myself and other practice builders, and you can learn what you need to, but it's going to take significantly more of your important time to get the same information from the free content than it would to invest in some sort of program. Because everybody who has created programs around this has it done in a linear sort of fashion. So you just go step by step of what you need. And the sooner that you're able to get clients in the door, the sooner you're running a financially viable business. I don't think I really fully appreciated the whole time is money thing until I was in private practice. Like, I mean, I'd heard it, I'd worked hourly jobs before, but it felt very different to me as a business owner. So if you get your marketing rolling and you get a few clients from the outset, there's this exponential growth that tends to happen. It's easier to get more clients than it is to get the first clients. We walk people through step by step and how to build their practice in the Abundance Party. It's the cost of one copay per month. Like the vast majority of you guys can afford it. And you can get clients so much faster if you're going through a step-by-step process. That's over at abundanceparty.com. In the Inner Circle, you have that same step-by-step process, but you also have individual and group support. You can check that out over at I think you've got to have the www.abundanceparty.com/innercircle. And yes, consume the free stuff. That's why I put it out there. I know not everybody is in a place where they can or will invest financially or time-wise into a program. We have the free stuff for you for a reason. I want it to be helpful. We also have a free webinar, free training called How to Build Your Practice or How to Fill Your Practice Without Being Salesy or Spending Money. You don't have that's at www.abundanceparty.com/fill, F-I-L-L. We'll link to all this to make it easy for you. If you're not going to remember URL, that's fine. Yeah. So I would say if you're wondering whether or not private practice is a good fit for you, I want you to get really clear about what is an internally sourced reason for that question. Not because your supervisor said private practice doesn't work, not because the only people you know with a successful private practice have, they're super extroverted and you're introverted. All of us who really want a successful private practice and are willing to do some work to get there, I really believe we can all be full. But I want you to see what your personal internal objections are and see if that's really something that's stopping you or if it's just a block coming up because it's scary. Alrighty. If you have questions for me, I'd love to answer them on Ask Allison. Please shoot me a DM over on Instagram. Oh, and we also have a free worksheet that will accompany this. So if you need to dive into this a little bit more, I would love to help you out with that. And I'll link to that as well. All right, take care.